when going to buy a house, some folks think that they want to just go and find the house first. And then they're gonna go and get everything else done. But the problem with that is there's a good amount of times where you go to find the house, you find the house on the first one, because that happens, and you go to submit an offer. But all the offers are due within 24 to 48 hours. And then you're sitting there with your hands empty going, well, I don't have a pre-approval, nor do I even know how to submit an offer. What terms do I need to put in there? What form do I put it on? And it can be confusing, it can be daunting, and it should be, because you're talking about the biggest purchase of your life. And so when buyers come up to me and they say, what's my first step? What am I supposed to be doing? I always tell them that they should find an agent first, they should find a lender first, one of the two, and find somebody that's trustworthy, someone that you can work with and that you know is going to have your best interest in heart. Because if they don't, you're going to get taken to the dry cleaner. So with going to buy a house, you want to make sure that you have people that are in your corner that are being proactive. So people that are proactive, what they're going to do is they're going to warn you about things. They're going to have systems in place to prevent certain bad things from happening during your transaction process. Because at the end of the day, real estate should be easy. Outside of like external forces, there should never be, you didn't tell us about this on your credit score. You didn't tell us that you didn't work 40 hours 6 months ago. And you had only worked 38. And those details you should remember, and it's your fault, it's your fault. At the end of the day, what I say is no, that is your professional's problem. That is something that they should be looking into to make sure that they have all their I's dotted and T's crossed. They should be reviewing your tax returns. They should be going through your bank statements. They should be going through your pay stubs just to make sure that everything looks good. And if they're not, what's going to happen is that about 3 weeks into the transaction, when it comes time to order your appraisal, they'll delay. And it'll get delayed and delayed and delayed. And then all of a sudden you'll find out you can't do it. Or now you have to pay extra money at closing, which most people don't have, in order to buy down points or to pay for the risk that the bank's not willing to take on. And this goes from being the bank's problem to your problem. And when you work with people that know what they're doing and are trustworthy and have all their I's dotted and T's crossed, you don't face these challenges any longer. You don't have to worry about that. What is told to you is going to happen. And that's just from the lender side. From the real estate agent side, when going to buy a house, the real estate agent is going to set the expectations early. So let's say you have a budget of $400,000, but you want a house that's 1.5 million, or the style home that's like 1.5 million. They can put things in front of you to make sure that you're aware of what's going on. They can set the expectation by looking at your pre-approval and saying, do you know what that mortgage payment looks like for $700,000 a month? That's about I'm really just roughing the numbers right now just to keep things simple. That mortgage is $5,000 a month. Do you feel comfortable with that? No. What some people will do is they'll wait till you're under contract in 3 weeks before closing and then have that discussion about what that mortgage payment is again. And that can be quite crazy because now you've fallen in love with the property. I've seen it happen. And so this isn't just stuff that I'm just pulling out of thin air. Like, these things occur. And so you want to talk to people that, well, for the sake of the conversation right now, when you're going to go buy a house, understand what your budget is for a property every single month. Do you want to spend $3,000 a month, $4,000, $5,000? And then when you're speaking with your lender and finding out what your max pre-approval is, talk to them about what your budget is. And then find out how much of a down payment do you have to put in? How does that change things? Do you need to buy down points? Do you need to ask the seller to buy down points for you? And those types of things will help set you up for success early on in the transaction process. So that way you don't have to face some of the challenges that some people face 3 weeks into the property when they've already fallen in love with it. So remember that when you're going to hire any real estate professional, try to work within their sphere. That's just my recommendation because they usually have relationships. And then also make sure that they're being proactive with everything.